Welcome back to Will the DFS Sale Ever Truly End? Our story today is The Haunting Melody, and it was requested by Blondiflay. Thank you for your request. Right, let's do this ting.
That's not the story. That's not the story at all.
You're not a story.
You're right.
It was a regular day. Charlie and his friends were at school. A man in black walked away from the school locker.
Wait, they only have one. You have to keep everything in there.
It's like a really creepy storage cupboard that's just full of like dank disease water on the floor.
And Kang.
Yeah, and just old jerseys hanging up. You gotta wear those when you forget your PE kit.
Are you sure this is the right place?
Charlie asked. They had just entered a drafty, cold theatre, and even though it was a bright day outside, it was cold as night inside.
Yes, I'm sure,
Simon snottily said. I like to think his name was Simon Snottily. So it's something for Grisly Tales for Gruesome Kids. The Tale of Simon Snottily.
And the Bogey Monster.
And the moral of the story is, blow your nose.
Always carry a hanky.
The bogey monster will be after you.
Oh my god, that show was the bomb, but it was so stupid at the same time.
It was.
this is the place the flyer said our missing band instruments are.
For Simon had mysteriously gotten the flyer in his locker at school the day before. It probably wasn't for him, they've all been using the same giant locker.
This could be for anyone. Then let's get our band instruments and skedaddle.
Skedaddle? It was just the gopher from Winnie the Pooh. Said Walter, and backstage there were several beautifully made instruments. But there was something haunting about them, Charlie thought. They had a greenish glow. Billy and Walter, Simon stood back in awe. Right, I think it should be Billy, Walter and Simon, but I've just done it all weird.
Billy and Walter Simon.
Walter Simon stood back in awe while Charlie just stared. Charlie played the piano, Simon played the violin, Walter played the saxophone, and Billy played the tambourine. And all of their instruments.
Who was the lowest on fucking totem pole there?
You know who the cum dumpster of the group was there?
The Toby of the group. It was Billy. Oh no, I've misplaced my saxophone. I've misplaced my piano. I've misplaced my tambourine. Fucking tambourine!
How is it going to work now without the tambourine?
Also, I'm pretty sure you can go and buy a replacement tambourine for like basically nothing.
Someone's stolen my saxophone. Oh crap! What am I gonna do? I know how you feel. I've misplaced my tambourine. Fuck off, tambourine. Fucking go sellotape some Christmas lights to a fucking tin can, you retard. There you go, replacement tambourine. It works just as well. This guy over here is missing a fucking piano! Tambourine? Fucking seriously?
It's like someone stole my brand new car. Yeah, man. I know what you mean. I dropped a Snickers down the back of the sofa and I haven't seen it for days.
Right, so if you do actually play the tambourine, I mean, you fail at life, clearly.
Yeah, stop. Stop at once.
It's like the only person below that is the person who plays the triangle.
It's like the person playing the triangle is probably like playing ironically.
Yeah. If you play the tambourine, you're basically the Bez of the group, and that's just unacceptable.
No one wants to be Bez.
You get loads of ants like, I play the tambourine, it's a perfectly legitimate instrument. No, it's not.
Stefan, can you put a picture of Bez from the Happy Mondays on the screen, but it's got Toby's face? And despite all of their wrong feelings, the boys started to play. Everyone except Billy. He felt it wasn't right.
Yeah, playing the tambourine. I need to see tangerine. That'd have been worse. Billy, why are you playing the tangerine? You fucking idiot!
It's like, here, I've got the tambourine. It's like, no, that's a tangerine.
He just slams it, just squeezes.
I'm just thinking of the bagel and the flare gun again. It's like, I've got a flare gun to signal some help. It's a small bagel.
Oh, wait, oh my god!
Starbucks burnt down. He felt it wasn't right. All of the sudden, all of the boys who played started to feel drowsy, and a man in black touched the boys.
That sounds a bit rude.
That sounds incredibly rude.
Sounds a bit like bum.
Way! Touched all the boys except Billy.
Even then, like, well, oh, I'm a creepy child molester. I'm going to the table. Wait, are you tambourine? No, I have standards.
It's like, these young boys are sexy musicians, but you... That's not a real musical instrument, you fucking hanger-on. You can stay here while you boys follow me and wrestle in my van. All of the boys except Billy, who dodged out of the way and ran for the door. He thought he saw 3 spiders, right, very specific, right where Charlie, Walter and Simon used to be. Billy ran screaming down the street. 5 months later. What?
So, like, as he's running away, he turns around and, like, were they people-sized spiders, like in Legend of Zelda, were they, like, freaky faces? Or was it like, I thought I saw spiders. They're about that big.
I know, it's 5 months later. Someone else take over for a bit.
Okay, me?
You're
Okay.
close to the microphone then.
Okay. Charlie's sister Allie was so upset about when her big brother disappeared in the theatre with 3 other friends and only Billy came out. Like, that sounded really, it was like really sarcastic. She was so upset. Okay, so when...
Oh yeah, it's totally terrible that my brother disappeared.
Yeah, they've written it like so like, is this actually a musical? Because it's like so dash o dash o. So it's like Allie was so upset about.
Creepypasta the musical.
When the police searched the theatre, Billy told them what he'd seen. Everyone thought he was crazy and told him he had been reading too many comic books.
Like, so a creepy guy came in with a big, I'm guessing molestache. It was molesto. Came in, and then I ran away. No, you see that in comics all the time.
Yeah, what kind of comics does this author read?
So,
Are they ones that can only be found on 4chan?
written by Chris Chan. Allie wrote an entry in her diary. Here's what she wrote. I miss my big brother so much. Ever since he went into that theater.
It does sound like you're being sarcastic.
Ever since he went into that theater, I've been so lonely.
Well, maybe she has like some sort of like verbal tickle speech impediment where every time she says so, like so. Oh yeah. Well, so how are you feeling? I'm feeling so good today. Like, sorry, it's just a verbal tickle. Yeah.
But at least I have my pet hippo Bob to keep me company.
What? Excuse me?
But at least I have my pet hippo Bob to keep me company.
No, okay, no, I heard it right the first time. It must be Gemma.
But does she mean actual pet? She has a fucking hippo out back, or is it like I've got a plushie that?
Yeah.
Like I accidentally put the word pet and like toy mixed up, but I hope she's got a real fucking hippo out back.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Just thinking in the garage.
It's like in the duck pond. It's just standing there.
I vow to find my brother if it's the last thing I do. Allie set out for the theatre that night, but she
Wait. Her name's Ali.
Yes.
Ali G.
Alligator, hippopotamus.
The Jungle Book.
It's all coming together now. Croctus.
Allie set out for the theatre that night, but she had to wear a dark hat so people would not see her gorgeous long blonde hair. Okay.
No.
Right then.
So, like, would this author happen to be a girl who is named Ali? Do you think?
She She walked along, stopping every now and then to listen. Is that footsteps? Is it just her imagination, or did that bush just move?
Way! Now that sounds incredibly rude, doesn't it?
Sounds a bit like bum, doesn't it? But there cannot be anyone behind her. Or could there be? Yes! There was somebody behind her. She went around.
It sounded like fucking some sort of Dora the Explorer X. Like, is someone behind her? Yes! Good work, children!
She whipped around.
Point to the bad guy on the screen!
She whipped around and was startled to see her best friend, Adissa. Adissa? Who's called Adissa? No one.
Is that the less popular Chubby Brown song?
Adissa, whose parents were utterly pretentious and who clearly hated their child.
Ah, you scared me! Exclaimed Ali.
I just wondered if I could come with you.
Said Adissa.
So it's like cross between a tiger and someone with a like Indian accent.
Won't your parents miss you? Asked Ali.
They think I'm asleep.
Shrugged Adissa.
So can I?
Sure you can, said Ali. She felt better than her friend was there. I wouldn't. So they walked toward.
Well, we should be clear though that the text doesn't actually say the friends spoke like that.
No. So they walked towards the theatre. Sometimes they got lost and had to retrace their steps. And eventually they got to the theatre door. Shh! Let's try to be quiet. We don't know what's in here, said Ali.
Here, let me help.
And Adissa turned on a flashlight, but Ali half wished she didn't. The place was a wreck. There were spiders in every crack and corner, and the seats were ripped as though someone slashed them with a knife. The spiders scattered when approached.
Oh, I don't like this.
Whispered Adissa.
I don't. Oh.
So,
No, whisper this, and then it's I don't like this either, but, you know, new speaker, new line. No, we're not going to do that, fine.
I don't like this either, but we need to find out what happened to my brother. Let's split up, Ali said.
Because you are clearly the one who's going to crack this case.
I was like,
Not
why?
really.
You waited 5 months to find your brother.
Yeah, he's like, a man after 5 months, perhaps we'll find him in the place he was last seen.
If only the police could be so, on the nose. But they aren't ace detectives like these.
It's like, that way we can cover more ground. Adissa was poking around, trying to avoid a spider web when she heard a haunting melody, title drop, come from backstage. She followed the sound, but then a broad-shouldered man in black reached out and touched her.
Kick!
Ali heard Adissa scream. Closely following the sound, it was still echoing. Ali went backstage, and for a split second, Ali saw 4 glowing band instruments, but that was before they began to play. A man in black.
What? These sentences are so, jumbled, I can't actually understand what's happening.
No. A man in black came and touched her shoulder. He had stone-cold eyes. Ah! Everything went black.
I love these are written with eek and it's just like the final resting place is in the cave of
Castle Ah. 6 months later.
I saw a man tapping up a poster. The weird thing is, he was wearing all black.
exclaimed Maggie.
But, black is a winter color. How could he do this?
Cried Natalie.
Let's go see the poster. Maybe it says something about the crimes against fashion he is committing,
Maggie added. So the fashionista girls walked up to the poster and read that there were some piano lessons going on at 4 p.m. at the old abandoned theatre.
Okay, then it's clearly come to the abandoned. This is not dodgy in the least.
Wait, is that where those kids disappeared? Strange. You'd think people would fear that place after what happened there. We should go and investigate for some reason, so we can try to find out what's been going on.
And try to stop it.
Chimed in Natalie. The girls were detectives. It says that. It really says that in parentheses. The girls were detectives. Cancer, 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 cancer.
It's like Nancy Drew. So, what do you think we should bring?
Asked Natalie.
Well, I think we bring our cell phones and some rope,
Said Maggie.
Oh, and earplugs.
The girls had heard that the noise was unbearable.
And
What noise?
And we would need a notebook and pencil, and finally we need our magnifying glass to do our sleuthing.
Natalie finished.
Okay, let's go.
They stepped inside the cold, drafty theatre and saw the spiders, and then in parentheses, ew.
Oh god.
And the seats, oh no. but kept walking. They had a job to do. They went backstage, and the minute they walked back there, the 4 instruments started to play.
Put your earplugs in!
Screamed Maggie, for Billy had told them these instruments played a haunting melody and strongly warned them from coming.
But no one listens to Billy.
Okay, I can't tell who's meant to be talking because of the way they formatted this. What if he gets you guys too? Billy, that is true, but we have to stop this before any other kids vanish. They watched as the man in black leapt from the shadows. Natalie thought,
This must be the kidnapper.
and the man in black reached out to touch Maggie, but she jumped out of the way and raped. That escalated quickly, didn't it?
right. Point that out to me. Like, yes, it says.
It says raped. Jumped out of the way, forced herself on him, and then shit in his arse. And then he found himself thinking he should have left well alone.
And no means yes, and yes means anal.
That's right, and raped the rope around.
It was the guy was really off-put about it. He's like, I'm gonna turn you into a spider or something. Oh yeah? Well, look at this. Like, I'm really uncomfortable about this right now.
It's only boys I'm after.
Raped the rope around the villain while Natalie called the police. I mean, on which one? The kidnapper or the rapist? When the man was dragged out of the theatre, Maggie asked him,
Why did you turn the kids into spiders?
since he had told them that they could not save the kids, for he had turned them into spiders.
I did it because when I was a boy, my spider was stepped on by some kids.
And then, even though it's still him talking, it closes quotation marks, starts new ones, but it's still him talking.
So if I could not have my pet spider, I'd have more spiders. I've been learning dark magic from YouTube videos.
I've been learning dark magic from YouTube videos.
Well, that's the place where you're gonna learn them.
I mean, all you have to do is just like how to do the dark magic into the YouTubes. And the dark magic appears.
Teach me to Satan.
Said the man in black. Oh god.
And I would have got away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
Oh.
But
It's just Scooby-Doo. I thought this is listed as like a real, like, this is supposed to be trying to be serious, but they've just made a Scooby-Doo joke. Then the police took the man to jail. Unfortunately, the kids could not really be saved. Turned back from spiders into kids, so the town provided them with their own spider condos. Maggie and Natalie received town service medals and life went on. Now, obviously that was a joke.
Right, it's either a joke, it was a piss take, or a very well, I'd say quite well written, an 8-year-old who can write fairly well.
But I mean, it's under the categories pasta trying to be good when it sucks enough to be a troll.
But I'm saying that's
And
why
deletion
it could
log
just
refugees,
been like a 10-year-old who's quite good at writing but still an idiot. I'm not sure what's better, if it's someone did it with sincerity or if they actually are just trolling. Either way, someone raped or wrote.
Okay, so I'm not going to bother reading too many of the comments except for this one by Blondiflay. I think that's the same person who requested it, isn't it?
Yep.
You think Michael Awar should read this mess? Okay, so let's each give our thoughts on this. I am inclined to think this was a troll pasta that's been mislabeled as a serious pasta. Having said that, it's still not really funny enough because most of the jokes came from us dicking around. So yeah, fucking 2 out of 10 rubbish.
Yeah. It's either like I said, either it's like a 10-year-old wrote it or it's a troll pasta. Either way, we got more fun making fun of like tambourines than the actual joke. The only good like line in it was the person where they misspelled rope. Or was it rope?
Wrapped. They meant to write wrapped around, not raped around.
Yeah, like I mean, you could. There's bits of it that make me think that it was written by someone that was younger than 10. Just the way they've also kind of really botched the kind of speech quotations and all that.
Yeah.
But even so.
I mean, it's the bit at the end where it's basically just Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. It's like maybe they were watching Scooby-Doo when they were writing this, and then they just went, "That is a brilliant line to put at the end of my creepypasta, and I wouldn't have got away with it if it weren't for you meddling kids."
It's genius. It's original. No one else has used it. Oh wait,
I will say it didn't. Unlike most creepypastas, it wasn't full of blood, and until the end, there was no rape. So.
Yeah, it's about as innocent as you can really get. Like they turned him into spiders. Woo!
Yeah, like and then a skeleton popped out. Yeah.
It's sort of like, I don't know, a really shitty version of like a Goosebumps story or something.
I could see it as a Goosebumps story, like that whole kind of like piano lessons could be murder. That was one of them.
See, I see that as like Grisly Tales for Gruesome Kids. It's like.
And what's the kid's name again? Who we
Careful
made
not to step on spiders, or you could turn into a spider too.
But then the spiders at the end got their own spider condos, so the
That's
spiders
pretty
are
fucking
really...
easy. I know a condo.
The expression "spider condos" is another thing that leads me to believe this wasn't entirely serious. Just call it a hunch.
Spider condos.
Thanks very much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, you can click one of these thumbnails here to see another one that's quite similar to it. You can also subscribe for more content. You can follow us on Twitter or make a donation on Patreon because I need slippers for my children. Thank you.